Hi guys, it's Nancy with Nancy's Nibbles of Life, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? I bring you lots of WW content, sometimes a beauty vlog, and sometimes a travel vlog. Subscribers, thank you so much for joining me again. You're gonna love today's video, a 5-point steak dinner. Can you believe that? You gotta stay tuned so that you can see how I prepared this beautiful flank steak, roasted radishes, and bok choy. Okay, let's go. I love a good steak dinner. Always have, always will. Sorry, not sorry. But I know that there are certain cuts of the beef that you can eat that are not so horrible in points. And one of them is a flank steak. So I'm going to be making the flank steak tonight, and I just use my grill pan. It's a great steak or piece to cut on a grill because you don't want to cook it until it's, really well done. You want to kind of get medium on this steak because it's such a nice cut. And the points on the flank steak are really low. 3 smart points for 3 ounces. And I'm probably going to have 4, and it will only cost me 4 smart points for my 4 ounces of steak. So far with my wine and my steak, I'm at 8 points for dinner. I'm also going to try something new tonight with my dinner, and that is rosemary roasted radishes. Say that 3 times. I'm going to show you where I found this recipe. We're making these rosemary roasted radishes, like I said, and I got the recipe from the Simply 5 cookbook, of course. Check it out. And this is the recipe. So I have always heard that the roasted radish really kind of tastes like a potato once you roast them. And I'm really curious about that because, of course, I am a traditional protein, starch, and vegetable kind of eater. So if the radish is anything like a potato, I'm game. So this recipe actually calls for a little bit of rosemary. It smells so good. And I have the fresh herb tonight. Normally I have the dried, but today I have the fresh. It calls for, of course, some of these radish, and I have some beautiful radishes here today. And it says to keep the tops. So about 20 of the radishes you'll need with the tops. You're going to need some olive oil, rosemary, salt and pepper, and a little bit of lemon juice. So you're basically just roasting these off and tossing the ingredients all together. And it comes to 1 point. So I'm going to cook a few of these radish with my steak dinner tonight. But I'm also going to add a couple of red potatoes because I truly want to see the difference in texture between both of these dishes. So I'll start with the radish, throw my steak onto the grill so you can see what that cut tastes like, or looks like rather. I'll see what it tastes like and I'll let you know. And then we'll move on to my vegetable of the evening. Okay. guys, moving right along in my steak dinner. I am gonna also add, of course, a green. You have to have a green with your steak dinner. And you know, I love going to the steakhouse and getting the cream spinach or those asparagus, the giant asparagus, so good. But tonight I'm gonna make bok choy. So bok choy is essentially, in my opinion, cabbage. I believe it is a cabbage. It's a form of a cabbage. And so here it is. And I just chopped off the ends of my bok choy. And what I'm going to do now is rinse them and make sure that I get rid of any dirt on the leaves. I'll show you what I mean. So here's the inside of that bok choy, and sometimes in this area you might find a few pieces of dirt. So once you chop your bok choy and open it up, this is a great time to rinse it to make sure that you get it nice and clean. So I'm going to throw these into my strainer and give them a quick rinse, and then I'm going to actually use my steamer that I got from WW when I first signed up. You know, I didn't discover that I had that thing until months after, but I'm so glad that I did. It's such an easy tool to use, and you know, no need to go over to your oven or your stove. You just fill the container with a little water, put your produce on top, snap it shut, and it steams. It's so cool. I'll show you how I do that. No added fat. But I am going to add a little bit of soy sauce to flavor the bok choy. And guess what? A little bit of oyster sauce on top so that it's just kind of an extra delicious vegetable. It'll only cost me $1.4, that oyster sauce on top of my bok choy. So that's how I will prepare it tonight. When it comes out of the steamer, I'm going to transfer it to a dish and add that oyster sauce on top. So I'll show you how I'll do that. Well guys, dinner is done and it looks so delicious. So I went ahead and weighed out 3 ounces of that flank steak because I wanted you to see what the 3-ounce portion looks like so that you see that this is actually a 5-point meal. Can you believe that? So 3 points for the flank steak, 1 point for those radish because I used a little bit of olive oil to mix into those radishes. I also used a little bit of oyster sauce on my bok choy, making that also 1 point. So a 5-point meal. You can't beat that. So let's get into these radish because I am so curious to taste them. So let's see what they look like. See there? Mmm. 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 Okay. You know what? I love turnip greens. If you know the taste of a turnip green, you know what this radish tastes like. It has a sweet kind of flavor to it, but also kind of mustardy. It's really good. I love also fermented vegetables. This kind of reminds me of something like a kimchi even. Really good. Let's try these radish tops. Remember we got those roasted leaves? Let's see. We clean those really good. Good. Very similar. Not bad. Wow. Really good. Let's get into this flank steak. I know some of y'all were judging me on the color of that steak when it came out of the oven. Being off the grill pan. But inside it looks perfect. You know, there's still some redness to it. Has a nice little char on the outside. It's good. Of course, our Bok Choy has a little bit of that oyster sauce on it. Let's give that a taste. So good. This is the perfect meal for me because it feels kind of special because it's a steak dinner, but it's a Wednesday night over here, so we're doing the most and we loving it. For 5 smart points, why not? Got my wine here. I'm just gonna chill out for the rest of the night and relax. Listen, thank you so much for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. You know, I'm loving the growth on the channel and I just can't wait to bring you guys more recipes. So, again, thanks for rolling with me. Please leave me a like and a comment. I would really appreciate that. And guys, until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye!